One of the most profound shifts in our understanding of nutrition has little to do with discovering a new vitamin or a miracle food. It's the realization that the structure of our food is just as important as what's in it. How a food is presented to our body, whole, chopped, or liquefied, can dramatically change how our system responds, especially as we get older and our metabolic machinery becomes more sensitive. This is particularly true for something as seemingly innocent as a glass of orange juice. For many of us, it's a symbol of a healthy breakfast. Yet, mounting evidence suggests that the simple act of choosing the whole orange over its juice can be a significant lever in managing day-to-day energy, blood sugar stability, and even long-term cholesterol levels. In this video, we are going to walk through exactly what happens inside your body on a biological level when you make this one small swap. We'll explore the science of fiber, sugar, and satiety in a way that's easy to understand. More importantly, we'll look at practical, gentle ways to apply this knowledge without feeling deprived. This isn't about banning your favorite juice. It's about understanding it so you can make empowered choices. Everything we discuss is based on solid clinical research, and my goal is to give you clarity, not cause for alarm. I'm Dr. Daniel Bennett, and for years, my focus has been on translating complex health science into simple, actionable steps, especially for those of us navigating our health in our 60s, 70s, and beyond. If you believe in making informed health decisions with calm and clear guidance, you're in the right place. I invite you to subscribe and join our community. Your presence here helps us reach more people who are looking for trustworthy information. Let's begin with the most immediate effect you might feel after drinking a glass of juice versus eating a whole orange, the energy roller coaster. Many people describe a familiar pattern. They have a glass of juice with breakfast, feel a quick burst of energy, but then an hour or two later, they experience a slump. They feel tired, a little foggy, and are often hungry again far sooner than they expected. This isn't a failure of willpower. It's a predictable biological response to how the sugar in juice is delivered to your body. When you drink orange juice, you are consuming what is essentially sugar water with vitamins. The industrial process of juicing, even for not from concentrate varieties, removes nearly all of the fiber. This is the crucial point. In a whole orange, the sugar, or fructose, is neatly packaged within a complex structure of fiber, a fibrous matrix. Think of this fiber as a microscopic net or a sponge. When you eat the whole orange, this fiber net travels down into your digestive system. As your body works to break it down, the sugar is released slowly and gradually from that net. It trickles into your bloodstream over time. This gentle release gives your pancreas, the organ that produces insulin, plenty of time to respond. Insulin is the hormone that acts like a key, unlocking your cells to let the sugar in for energy. A slow, steady rise in blood sugar allows for a measured, efficient insulin response. Now, contrast that with juice. With the fiber net gone, that same amount of sugar hits your system all at once. It's like opening a floodgate. Your bloodstream is suddenly inundated with fructose. Your liver, which is the primary processor of fructose, gets overwhelmed. Your pancreas is forced to scramble, releasing a large surge of insulin to deal with the sudden sugar spike. This big insulin surge is very effective, sometimes too effective. It quickly shuttles the sugar out of your blood, which can cause your blood sugar to drop rapidly, leading to that classic crash and the rebound hunger you feel. The solution here is wonderfully simple. Eat the orange. When you peel an orange, you'll notice the white, spongy material between the peel and the fruit. That's called the albedo, or pith. Don't try to pick it all off. This part is incredibly rich in a specific type of soluble fiber called pectin, as well as flavonoids like hesperidin, which studies suggest may support healthy blood pressure and circulation. By eating the fruit in its natural, God-given form, you are giving your body the full package. The sugar, yes, but also the very thing designed to help you manage it. This brings us to a second, related issue, the quiet problem of overconsumption. It's remarkably easy to drink a lot of calories without ever feeling full. Think about how many oranges it takes to make a single 8-ounce glass of juice. It's typically 3, sometimes 4 medium-sized oranges. Now, imagine sitting down to eat 4 whole oranges in one sitting. For most of us, that would be very difficult. You'd feel incredibly full long before you finished. This points to another critical function of whole foods that is lost in juice: their ability to trigger our body's natural satiety signals. Satiety, or the feeling of fullness and satisfaction, isn't just about having a full stomach. It's a complex hormonal conversation between your gut and your brain. The physical act of chewing is the first step. Chewing sends signals to your brain that food is on the way, preparing your digestive system and beginning the satiety process. Furthermore, the bulk of the whole orange, the fiber and water held within its structure, physically stretches the stomach. This stretching activates nerve receptors in the stomach wall that send a powerful message to your brain saying, "Okay, we're getting full down here. Time to slow down." Hormones play a key role, too. A high-fiber food like a whole orange slows down the rate at which your stomach empties. This sustained presence of food in your gut promotes the release of satiety hormones like cholecystokinin, CCK, and glucagon-like peptide, 1, GLP-1. These hormones travel to your brain and reinforce the feeling of fullness, keeping you satisfied for hours. Liquid calories from juice, however, rush through your stomach so quickly that this entire signaling cascade is largely bypassed. Your brain barely gets the memo that you've consumed anything significant, which is why you can drink several hundred calories and still feel hungry shortly after. The practical solution here is not about total elimination, but about portion awareness. If you truly love your orange juice and it's a cherished part of your morning routine, consider the half-glass rule. Instead of a big 10 or 12-ounce glass, pour a small 4 to 6-ounce serving. That's about the size of a small, old-fashioned juice glass, not a large tumbler. You can savor the taste and the ritual without the massive sugar and calorie load. Another great strategy is to dilute it. Fill your glass halfway with juice and top it off with plain water or, for a bit of sparkle, unflavored seltzer water. You still get the flavor, but with half the sugar. If this is helpful so far, a simple tap on the subscribe button ensures you won't miss our future videos where we break down complex health topics into simple, manageable steps. Now, let's move on to a topic that is a primary concern for many people over 60, managing cholesterol. This is an area where the difference between a whole orange and its juice becomes especially significant, and it once again comes down to a specific type of fiber. The pectin we mentioned earlier, found in the white pith and the membranes of the orange, is a form of soluble fiber. Soluble fiber has a unique property. It dissolves in water to form a thick, gel-like substance in your digestive tract. This gel has a remarkable function related to your cholesterol levels. Here's how it works, explained simply. Your liver produces a substance called bile, which is essential for digesting fats. Bile is made primarily from cholesterol that is already circulating in your bloodstream. After it does its job in the small intestine, most of that bile is normally reabsorbed and recycled back to the liver to be used again. This is where the soluble fiber gel from the whole orange comes in. Think of this gel as a sticky magnet moving through your intestines. As it travels, it binds onto the bile acids. Because the bile is now stuck to the fiber, it cannot be reabsorbed. Instead, it gets carried all the way through your system and is eliminated from your body in your stool. Your liver, noticing the shortage of recycled bile, has to make more. To do this, it must pull more cholesterol, specifically the LDL bad cholesterol, out of your bloodstream. The end result is a net lowering of your circulating LDL cholesterol levels. Every time you eat a whole orange, you are actively helping your body to escort a little bit of excess cholesterol out. When you drink juice, this entire powerful mechanism is lost because the soluble fiber has been stripped away. This is a good moment to bust a common myth. Many people believe that buying juice with pulp is just as good as eating the whole fruit. While the pulp does add back a tiny amount of insoluble fiber, which is good for regularity, it is not the same as the rich, gel-forming soluble fiber that is integrated into the fruit structure. The pulp in juice is often just bits of the orange's cell walls that have been added back in for texture. It doesn't provide that same powerful cholesterol binding effect. So, while high pulp is slightly better than no pulp, it is a distant second to the benefits of the whole fruit. If you are actively working to manage your cholesterol, consistently choosing whole fruits over juices is one of the most effective dietary strategies you can employ. A reasonable goal for many adults is to get total cholesterol below 200 milligrams per deciliter and LDL cholesterol below 100 milligrams per deciliter. But you should always discuss your personal targets with your doctor, as they depend on your overall health profile. Of course, even when you eat the whole fruit, it is still a source of carbohydrate. For individuals managing blood sugar, especially those with prediabetes or type 2 diabetes, how you eat that fruit matters just as much. This leads us to the art of building a blood sugar-friendly plate. The principle is simple. Never let a carbohydrate travel alone. When you eat a carbohydrate-rich food like an orange by itself, your body digests it relatively quickly. But if you pair it with sources of protein, healthy fat, or even more fiber, you dramatically slow down the entire digestive process. Think of protein and fat as brakes for your digestion. They take longer for your stomach to break down. When you eat them alongside an orange, the orange gets stuck in traffic, so to speak. It has to wait its turn. This means the sugar from the orange is absorbed into your bloodstream much more slowly and steadily, preventing any sharp spikes. This not only helps with blood sugar control, but also enhances that feeling of satiety we discussed earlier, keeping you full and energized for much longer. The solutions here are practical and delicious. Instead of thinking of an orange as a standalone snack, think of it as a component of a mini meal. For a morning snack, pair a whole, sliced orange with a small handful of almonds or walnuts. That's about a quarter cup, or what fits comfortably in your palm. The healthy fats and protein in the nuts will buffer the fruit's sugar perfectly. At breakfast, instead of juice, add orange segments to a bowl of plain Greek yogurt. The yogurt provides a heavy dose of protein that will anchor your blood sugar for hours. Or have your orange alongside a hard-boiled egg or two. The combination of the fruit's nutrients and the egg's protein and healthy fat is a classic powerhouse breakfast that supports stable energy. It's important to have a sense of your own numbers. For an individual without diabetes, a normal fasting blood glucose level is typically under 100 milligrams per deciliter. If you are living with diabetes or have been told you have prediabetes, your doctor will give you specific targets. If you use a home glucose monitor, you can even run a little experiment for yourself. Test your blood sugar 2 hours after drinking a glass of juice, and then on another day, test it 2 hours after eating a whole orange with a handful of nuts. Seeing the difference in the numbers can be a very powerful motivator. As always, any significant changes to your diet, especially if you are on medication for blood sugar, should be discussed with your healthcare team. Finally, let's touch upon an area of health that is getting more and more attention, and rightly so, the health of our gut microbiome. Our large intestine is home to trillions of microorganisms, bacteria, fungi, and viruses, collectively known as the gut microbiome. We are increasingly understanding that the health and diversity of this inner ecosystem is profoundly linked to our overall health. It influences our immune system, our levels of inflammation, our mood, and even how we metabolize food. And what do these beneficial gut microbes eat? They eat fiber. Specifically, the types of fiber found in whole fruits and vegetables, like the pectin in oranges, are known as prebiotics. Prebiotics are, quite simply, food for your good gut bugs. When you eat a whole orange, the fiber passes through your stomach and small intestine undigested. When it reaches your large intestine, your friendly microbes have a feast. As they ferment this fiber, they produce beneficial compounds called short-chain fatty acids, like butyrate. Butyrate is a superstar molecule for gut health. It's the primary fuel source for the cells that line your colon, keeping your gut wall strong and healthy. It also has powerful anti-inflammatory effects that extend throughout the entire body. A well-fed, diverse microbiome is a cornerstone of healthy aging. When you drink orange juice, you are essentially starving your gut microbes of this essential food. The sugar in the juice is absorbed high up in your small intestine, and virtually nothing of substance makes it down to the colon to nourish that vital community. By choosing the whole orange, you are not just feeding yourself. You are feeding the trillions of allies within you that work to keep you healthy. To support your microbiome, focus on variety. While oranges are great, also include other prebiotic-rich foods like bananas, onions, garlic, leeks, asparagus, and whole grains like oats and barley. The more diverse the sources of fiber in your diet, the more diverse and resilient your microbiome will become. Making the shift from juice to whole fruit is a small change, but it's one that sends powerful ripples through your entire system. It's a simple act of self-care that honors the way your body is designed to work. It helps stabilize your energy, supports your weight management goals, assists in managing your cholesterol, provides a steady stream of fuel for your cells, and nourishes the very foundation of your gut health. This isn't about perfection. It's about intention. It's about understanding the why behind the choices you make. If you have a small glass of juice on a special occasion, that's perfectly fine. The goal is progress, not a rigid set of rules. Every time you choose a whole apple over apple juice, or a handful of berries over a sugary smoothie, you are casting a vote for your long-term health and vitality. Remember, your body has an incredible capacity for wellness. By working with it, by giving it the fuel it recognizes and knows how to use, you empower that capacity every single day. You are the chief architect of your own health. Thank you for spending this time with me today. What is your favorite whole fruit to enjoy as a snack? I'd love to read your ideas and experiences in the comments below. It's a wonderful way for all of us to learn from one another. If you found this information valuable, please consider liking this video and sharing it with a friend or family member who might benefit from this calm, science-based approach. Be sure to subscribe so we can continue this journey together.